Welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. After some big moves earlier in the week for both Intel and VMware, both companies trading mostly sideways here following that announcement that Bob Swan, the CEO of Intel, will be stepping down effective February 15th to make room for the incoming CEO, the CEO of VMware, Pat Gelsinger. And right now, stock's pretty much trading sideways. But there are big questions over what that might mean for Intel's future. And for more on that, I want to spotlight it with Yahoo Finance's tech expert here, Dan Howley, joining us now. And Dan, obviously there were big moves when the news came out, but right now a bit of a quiet look at both those companies. But when you dig into maybe what the expectations under Gelsinger might be, a lot of analysts were very happy with the move. What do you make of that and what Intel might be able to do here as we see chip demand continue to rise?
Yeah, I think as part of the issue that was going on with Intel when it was underneath Bob Swan, and prior to that, was the kind of loss in its leadership role as far as fabrication goes, as far as the types of technologies they were using. And I think the outlook here is that with Gelsinger, who's a former CTO, Chief Technology Officer at Intel, that he will bring more of a background capable of helping push the company forward in that space. So, we've talked about Intel's issues with 10 nanometer process chips, 7 nanometer process chips. Those still aren't on the market yet. AMD has had those on the market for some time. Apple is pushing out its own 5 nanometer chips, and that's really starting to, kind of show people that Intel has fallen off. I mean, this was the market leader not too long ago, and now they've been usurped by AMD, which years ago was giving Intel a run for its money, but now is just completely blown it away as far as the technology goes. And Apple with its own ARM-based chips. So you're going to start to see, I think, a kind of reinvigoration of Intel if Gelsinger is able to push that forward. I think that's going to be the issue that most people look at. When will these chips finally hit the market? When will Intel be able to start doing things that are more akin to what its competitors are doing? And just a point of that is they recently announced that they're going to be using a process that's similar to what Apple does in its new M1 processor found in its Macs, the kind of big little setup, which is you have 2 cores that are dedicated to high performance processing, and then other cores that are dedicated to high efficiency processing that don't necessarily use as much power. And that's how you really squeeze as much juice as you can out of a.
Yeah, it looks like Dan froze there. There's going to be some questions as well. We should point out with Intel about what they plan to do with some outsourcing of their production with those reports that they're in talks with TSMC.